tire discounters, we want to make sure you can afford to stay safe on the road. So we're offering new options that let you pay by the week or by the month. Get what you need and don't spend a dime today.
Business insurance policies include coverage for lost business interruption, which may be required to pay your lost income during this shutdown. At Golden Law Office, our attorneys have handled countless insurance coverage disputes and will review your insurance contract for free. Call us at 859-469-5000.
Now it's 6:30 on WKYT. It's primary election day in Kentucky. We're live at Lexington's only polling place where voters are lining up as we speak.
We'll check on that also on WKYT, how Governor Beshear wants to expand in-person help for people who are still waiting for unemployment checks.
And an update on adjustments at Kentucky schools as students prepare to head back to class during a pandemic.
This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning, and we welcome you to WKYT This Morning. So good to have you along. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Andrea Walker. We will, of course, update you on everything elections today in Kentucky in just a moment. But first, we want to check in on the forecast with meteorologist Jim Caldwell. How are we shaping up out there?
You know, a few showers will be around, and we have some out there even at the moment. Some are right around Somerset, and you can see visibility reduced off in the distance. Possibly due to a little bit of rain that has passed through that area here recently. So that is a factor in some cases. But as far as it being a widespread, nonstop rainy day, that will not be the case. There you see on our surface map, you can see our cold front that's going to be moving into the area here later today. Some showers and storms will get ignited by that. Most of the activity out ahead of it's broken as it's sweeping into southern parts of Kentucky. After the front passes through the area later today going into tomorrow, looks really nice. Humidity drops. We're into the very pleasant category here Wednesday and Thursday. By the weekend, though, this goes away. We will track the increase in humidity and heat coming up in just a few minutes.
Okay, thank you very much, Jim. We'll see you shortly. We all know this has been a very unusual year, and for Kentuckians who have not already cast their vote in today's Kentucky primary, polls are now open in parts of the state.
There will, of course, be some changes you need to expect because of the pandemic. Our Jim Stratman joins us now live at Kroger Field, where, as we said earlier, folks are already lining up.
That's right, Bill and Andrew. The polls are open, the lines are forming, and people are going in and casting their vote in what is a unique election, to say the least. Now, when you come out to Kroger Field today, if you do need to cast your vote still, you're going to see a lot of these, lots of face masks. I'll step out. You can see some of the members of the line. I'm seeing quite a number of people in face masks right now. You're also going to be asked to socially distance. It is a little bit hard with the sheer number of people that have come out already this morning. We've seen lines back around the other side of Kroger Field before they let crowds come in. And then you'll also just have to try to follow as many of the guidelines as you can to stay safe when you come in to cast your vote. Now, the Kentucky Board of Elections is actually hoping that they won't see a massive turnout today as far as the number of in-person voters, and they say that they hope that doesn't happen because they say that about 90% of the total votes from the election this year will be through either in-person early voting or absentee ballot voting. Now, Fayette County Clerk Don Blevins also says that we're going to see a change in the way we get data in tonight.
Those will only be in-person votes that took place at that polling location on Election Day on June 23rd. So any votes that were early in-person votes will not be on those totals. Any mail-in absentee ballots will not be on those totals as well. The only thing that will be posted on those doors will be the in-person vote totals for that location on that day only.
Now, we do expect to have the full results of this election coming in on June 30th. Then we'll see exactly how this whole election is played out, but just the in-person voting will come in tonight. Now, the polls opened up at 6 o'clock this morning. They will stay open until 6 p.m. tonight, and this is the only polling location here in Lexington, just one of a number of polling locations throughout the state. Reporting live in Lexington, Jim Stratman, WKYT.
Jim, thank you. And speaking of those polling locations, we've put together an interactive map on WKYT.com to help you find yours. All you have to do is hover your mouse over your county, and it'll tell you where to vote. Again, this map available now on WKYT.com. We do want to warn you about a new election-related scam circulating this morning. It encourages Kentuckians to vote in today's primary by email, phone, or text. These methods are not legal here in the Commonwealth. Sometimes this scammer will ask you for personal information to cast your vote. Attorney General Daniel Cameron says be on guard and never give personal information to an unknown source.
Well, the Democratic candidates for the U.S. Senate, Amy McGrath and Charles Booker, spent their final hours of campaigning meeting with voters in eastern Kentucky. They each visited Hazard, Pikeville, and Ashland. For Booker, it is wrapping up a week-long statewide bus tour. McGrath spent time with steel workers and visited a food pantry. Both candidates say they are focused on trying to bring jobs to eastern Kentucky.
We need leadership that will fight for us and say that we can end poverty, that we can make sure people can put food on the table and have good paying jobs and public education that's fully funded, that we can make sure that health care is a right for everyone.
We need so many things here in eastern Kentucky. We need a senator that's going to work on good quality jobs here, who's basically going to care, who's going to care.
As for candidate Mike Breuer, campaign officials tell us that he had no public event scheduled for election eve, but he was very active on social media.
Lextran is offering free rides for this election day. Buses will be shuttling voters from the Transit Center to Kroger Field. The first shuttle will leave at 6 o'clock this morning, and they'll be up and running until 6:45 tonight, every 15 to 20 minutes. You can find our full Election Day coverage both on air and online at WKYT.com. And you can also stay connected with us on the go through the WKYT News app.
And again, it's going to be a while before we know these results, potentially a week from now when the final totals are released. Let's get to our COVID-19 coverage. For the first time in a while, Governor Andy Beshear did not announce any new deaths from COVID-19. Right now, the state's death toll sits at 526. The governor did confirm 90 new cases of the virus, and that has Kentucky's total at nearly 14,000 cases. More than 3,500 people have recovered. Now, despite the governor's announcement, Eastern Kentucky health departments did announce 2 new deaths. One was in Laurel County, the other in Harlan County. Judge Executive Dan Mosley says this is Harlan's second COVID-19 death. He also reported 1 new case. That brings their total to 19. The Laurel County Health Department says this is its 3rd death. It also announced 9 new cases, bringing that county's total to 69.
We have some much-needed good news for people still waiting on their unemployment checks. Governor Andy Beshear says in-person help will soon be available across the state. Labor Cabinet Secretary Larry Roberts is now in charge of the unemployment system. It comes after days of people lining up for hours to get their claims resolved. Governor Andy Beshear says he's also working to bring in an outside consulting firm to assist with getting those claims resolved.
And I'm not willing to wait any longer for us to be able to do it internally. It's people that know what they're doing, that have worked in this area forever, that have come in and fixed systems and that are working in other states. That's exactly what I want. I'll pay whatever it takes to get this thing fixed.
The governor says about 90% of claims made in March, April, and June have now been resolved. For the first half of this week, they are holding in-person services for those who waited in line last week and were not helped.
6:38 now on WKYT This Morning. The Fayette County Public School Board has voted to buy the Lexington Herald Leader building. It is a $7.5 million deal. The building will be turned into a career and technical center eventually. Right now, the district has 2 campuses for that. Those will now be under one roof in the new building. The Kentucky Department of Education, though, has to approve the purchase. There's no timeline for the renovation. And speaking of schools, we do expect to hear more from Governor Beshear tomorrow about what Kentucky classrooms will look like come this fall. WKYT's Kristen Kennedy joins us live now with what we're expecting to learn when that announcement's made. Kristen?
Well, Bill, we are expecting some changes to the way a school day will work. The governor will release guidelines tomorrow. Our partners at the Herald Leader talked to several superintendents about plans to begin the year online and possibly move to a hybrid in-person online class model later in the year. They also talked about both teachers and students wearing masks during the school day Meals will not look the same. School leaders are thinking about serving them in gyms and hallways, making sure all students face the same direction, and giving students more time during lunch to wash hands.
From a public health standpoint, it's important that we put out there what the very safest practices and procedures are. I know it's been a long time coming, but it's coming out about the same time as other states.
In those other states, Bill and Andrea, are also up against a clock. Many districts are expected to head back to school in 7 weeks. It's uncertain if that's going to happen.
As we keep saying, uncertain times, and we'll see, how the plan all works out. Churchill Downs is working with the governor's office on plans for this fall's Kentucky Derby.
Yeah, more uncertainty here. Now, there were no fans in the stands for the Belmont Stakes this year. Betting was down for the race about $34 million. Tourism officials are hoping to have at least a few fans in the stands for the Derby to help with their bottom line. Churchill Downs has yet to give any details about plans for the Derby.
Kentucky distilleries are gearing up to welcome guests back next week. Bardstown's oldest fully operating distillery, Barton 1792, reopens July 1st. New safety measures will be in place. All guests will have to register in advance and will have to wear a face mask. Employees will also have temperature checks before their shift starts, and face masks will be worn at all times.
Buffalo Trace and Frankfort will resume tours on the same day with similar rules in place. So do keep that in mind. And again, check ahead wherever you plan on going as far as attractions or, hot spots, just to see what their guidelines are.
We're trying to get things going, but you have to do it very carefully. Yes. And so folks are doing that. All right, as we head for the weekend, or at least look ahead to the weekend, it looks like summer. Let's check in with Jim.
Every single bit of it. You're right. Summer it is. We'll track daytime highs probably coming in mid-80s, maybe some upper 80s for some folks. It's a typical summer sizzle, which it's not unusual. That's why I'm saying it's typical. And you've got the scattered showers and thunderstorms that'll be around the area both days, as we'll hover right around 86 degrees.
All right, thank you.
Well, now let's check on traffic with Officer Don, see how things are moving out there early.
Hey, good morning. Collision on the inner loop of New Circle, just past North Broadway. It's a non-injury. Talked to Mark. He said the right lane's blocked, and they're working on that open back up for us. Live drive map looks good overall this morning. We're not seeing any significant issues. One of the slower points is inbound Nicholasville Road. The left turn lane to get onto the inner loop of the circle, but that seems to be clearing with a couple of clicks of the light at the most around town. Not seeing any red, so that's good. Drive times from Versailles is about 12 minutes. We're averaging 27 from Frankfurt, and it's 17 from Paris. Now back to you.
Okay, should be a good ride in, and we thank you very much. And we have more news coming up on WKYT here on your Tuesday morning.
Still ahead, how Louisville City Council hopes to make the police department more transparent.
Also, you'll hear about UK's COVID-19 testing policy as student athletes return for practice.
And how the pandemic could be wreaking havoc on your health in some unexpected ways.
If you do anything with regularity, you should get massaged with regularity. Your health and safety is always a top priority at Massage Envy. Keep your body working.
A message from Mr. Monopoly.
Hello! I'm so excited that the Kentucky Lottery wants me to give away part of my vast fortune for their new Monopoly Scratch game. In fact, I've installed this bell behind me to alert me when there's a winner. Oh, there's a winner right now. And another one. Charlie, can you make sure the winner bell is working properly?
Play the new Monopoly Scratch-Off and win $250,000 instantly.
How many people live in Kentucky?
As businesses start to open up and summer temperatures start to rise, we will be using our heat and air equipment a lot more. We are still here to help you, not to upsell you or overcharge you, but to give you what you need. We don't want you to be our customer one time. We want to build a partnership for life. So next time you're in need, give us a call over here at Hub Mechanical.
Our Hillshire Farm craftsmen start the day slow roasting turkey for incredible flavor. Then they double seal every slice for freshness. The results, well, they speak for themselves.
At Baptist Health, we want you to know the facts. Visit BaptistHealthDocs.com to view a video of Dr. Curtis Given on innovations in treating strokes. Baptist Health Lexington. Be a healthier you.
Since the beginning of time, humans have been quite clever at inventing things that make life easier.
like the wheel, like the Rambox cargo system, and backup cameras, really big backup cameras. Since you know everyone likes easy, Glenn's Freedom Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram makes truck buying easy with everyday low prices. An endless selection of Rams to choose from and top dollar for every trade. If you like easy, you'll love Glenn's Freedom Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Easy to find, easy to buy, easy to save.
If your gums bleed when you brush, you may have gingivitis, and the clock could be ticking towards bad breath, receding gums, and possibly tooth loss. Help turn back the clock on gingivitis with Parodontax. Leave bleeding gums behind. Parodontax.
Now more than ever, it's important for every Kentuckian to be informed and connected.
Miren las noticias de hoy, de lunes a viernes, por WKYT.com y Facebook.
Sponsored by Hispanic Connections of Lexington.
If you are having any symptoms of chest pain or any symptoms that can correlate to a stroke, please come to the emergency department and let us take care of you.
There is no safer place for your emergency than our emergency department.
We will protect you like we protect ourselves.
The quicker you get to the ER, the better your outcome is going to be.
We've never been more ready to take care of you and your family for an emergency.
Before you see it anywhere else, you'll see it on WKYT's Facebook.
It is 6:45. We welcome you back to WKYT This Morning as we look in live right now inside Kroger Field at the voters there.
Yep, this is the city's only polling location on this primary election day. You can see there are a lot of people lined up ready to cast their vote, also wearing their face masks, which is very good, and practicing good social distancing. So hats off to them, and hopefully we get a good turnout this year. It's already looking good early.
Well, it's a very unusual primary to have to do this in a very different way.
Right. Well, a proposed ordinance in Louisville hopes to make the police department more transparent.
The Metro Council president says LMPD keeps records away from the public until people eventually lose interest in the case. State law allows it, and police say the information could compromise investigations. This new ordinance would only allow police to keep records locked up for 60 days. It's a move that Lonita Baker, who represents Breonna Taylor's family, says is long overdue.
Regardless of who's right or who's wrong, if we can see it, if we can investigate it, if we're able to evaluate it, it's better than just being told, oh, we're just still investigating.
A proposal has also been filed to require any officer involved in a critical incident like a shooting to be immediately drug tested.
President Trump is expected to tour part of the border wall in Arizona today. He signed an executive order suspending work visas through the end of the year. President Trump will also be at a rally with Students for Trump in Phoenix. This comes as the state has seen the fastest coronavirus growth rate in the country.
6 Kentucky football players have tested positive for having had COVID-19 in the past. Players started returning to campus earlier this month. 106 student athletes were given an antibody test. The school says the 6 who tested positive were then checked out further and then allowed to work out. UK is not testing athletes for active COVID-19 infections when they return to campus. The school says diagnostic testing could give some athletes a false sense of security. Volleyball student athletes went through the initial screening process last week. The men's basketball screening starts Sunday.
The pandemic has many glued to their phones, computers, and TVs more than ever before. Unfortunately, too much screen time can wreak havoc on your health. Techies often suffer from headaches, vision problems, even weight gain. We spoke with a Kentucky optometrist who shed some light on how to protect yourself.
The American Optometric Association came up with the 20-20-20 rule, which is every 20 minutes, look at something that's 20 feet away. So when we do our eye exams, we always have the 20-20 test, which is basically the 20-foot test, and look at something for 20 seconds.
Dr. Scott also suggests placing your computer near natural light, using blue light filtering glasses, and eliminating screen time altogether 2 hours before bed. Bill, You and I could probably stand to take that advice.
We'd have to shut down early, wouldn't we?
It's tough. It's hard.
It really is to get disconnected. It's a time that...
And I'm bad about when I can't sleep, I look at my phone, which just makes it even worse.
I know. A lot of folks do that. All right, let's check in on weather now. It's 6:49, and here is Jim with the updated forecast for you.
But when I left the station back in March, you had this little fancy pair of glasses that you wore that was supposed to get rid of that blue light. Do
just like the doctor suggested there.
When you're reading that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you had them, so that's what I thought. Right now, a little bit of rain showing up here in Somerset, Lexington. We're dry. Humid, but we're dry as far as precipitation is concerned. You can see it. Raining there, just a normal, gentle shower passing overhead, but it's enough to slow things down around that area. Temperatures running in upper 60s, low 70s. Frontal boundary is north of Kentucky, so it's going to take its sweet time before it completely gets through here later today. It's igniting some thunderstorms, too, with it. Just the general shower activity from Liberty to Stanford to Danville to Lancaster. You go out toward Mount Vernon, McKee. It's very close to you as well. Corbin, London, all included in on that. We expand our view to track that cold front because it's, as we've been talking about all morning, it is the next big thing for us here. Once it passes through the area, it delivers a much better air mass to folks here in Kentucky. There's the hour by hour. As we move through time, you'll watch as our showers and thunderstorms will increase. The coverage will. I don't think it's ever just nonstop widespread all day kind of rain, but it will feature a better chance of showers and thunderstorms for a time. After that front gets out of here, as you see right there, we're drier, a lot drier on Wednesday and Thursday. That doesn't mean we won't see a few showers or thunderstorms, because we will, but overall, a much drier look for most folks out there. Now, what's lining up after that is another warm front that will be shifting into our skies and passing overhead for your Friday forecast. Once this warm front gets here, you're going to see our heat and humidity come right back into play. So leading up to it, after the front gets completely through, we're on the milder side, very comfortable air in place. Well, that warm front says, you know what? It's summertime, and summertime is here to stay. So the core of the heat will be down to our southwest, but we'll get it spilling over here as well, and those numbers likely climbing. And the model trying its best to push out upper 80s to right around 90 degrees for your highs this weekend. Full 7-day forecast. I've got a typical summer feel out there for you at that time, but some of us will get there. There's full 7-day with highs in the 70s the next few days and 80s by this weekend.
Okay, it's a nice ride into that summer feel for the weekend, so we'll enjoy that. Thank you, Jim. 6:52 right now, and we're coming back with our top stories on WKYT This Morning.
CBS This Morning's Eye Opener is about 8 minutes away.
At Tire Discounters, we want to make sure you can afford to stay safe on the road. So we're offering new options that let you pay by the week or by the month. Get what you need and don't spend a dime today.
Everyone's buzzing about buying local. With the recent bee shortage, I'm keeping a colony of bees right in my backyard. The bees that made this honey were cared for and given the attention they needed. That's why UK Federal Credit Union should be your local bank.
We basically closed our country as the pandemic swept across our land, killing mostly our elderly and ill. You see, life is precious. But think of this. Medical malpractice is the third leading cause of death in America. 400,000 deaths a year. That's 2 jumbo jets crashing every single day, and yet not one news story or warning. And that doesn't even count birth defects or nursing home injuries. In times like these, you can count on us. Morgan & Morgan.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard. This summer, we'll be traveling in a cabin where every seat is premium and all baggage flies free. So fasten your seatbelts and enjoy the panoramic views. Nissan is offering non-stop routes to summer.
And now is the best time to get into a new Nissan. Get 0% financing for up to 84 months on 13 models. Or get a low $199 per month lease on Nissan Rogue.
At ARH, we want to keep you healthy by bringing your healthcare provider directly to you, no matter where you are. Our ARH virtual care service provides a seamless interaction between you and your provider without the time and cost of travel or risk to exposure to germs and infection. By simply using your phone or computer, we are providing a safe and easy way to connect directly to your provider. We can also bring our virtual care service right to your vehicle by using our curbside care program. Just pull up to a designated area and use a tablet that's set up and ready to go when you arrive. See your provider, never miss a scheduled appointment, and refill your prescriptions, all from the safety and convenience of your home or vehicle. Simply call any ARH clinic and we will assist you step by step on how to take advantage of ARH virtual care. No matter where you are in Appalachia, we want to help keep you safe and provide the care you need when you need it. Appalachian Regional Healthcare, the healthcare system.
No hot water? Don Hauer is now offering water heaters as low as $15 a month. And no payment for 6 months. And we'll extend our 1-year warranty to 10 years for labor and parts. Call or visit us online at donhauer.com.
At Tire Discounters, we're proud to offer a brand new concept in the tire business, Service Valet. We'll pick your car up, do the recommended work you approve, and deliver it back to you.
Your time now is 6:55, and before we go, we want to update you on our top stories.
Kentucky's primary election is today, and it is underway, and it looks very different from previous years. This is a live look right now inside Kroger Field, which is Lexington's only polling location today. We likely won't know the outcome of today's election for a week.
Governor Andy Beshear says in-person unemployment help will soon be offered across the state. This comes after people lined up in Frankfort for hours trying to get help with their unresolved claims. Beshear says he's also working on a deal to bring in some outside consulting.
Lexington will be providing free drive-up and walk-up COVID-19 testing this Thursday and Friday. The city has more than 1,200 confirmed cases of COVID-19. A large portion of those are people who identify as Hispanic, even though they're only 7% of the city's population.
We expect to hear from the governor tomorrow about what Kentucky classrooms will look like come this fall. Changes are expected in how schools operate. Several superintendents say they want to begin the year online and maybe more to a hybrid model later on, that transition there. But Fayette County Superintendent Manny Cox says he will wait to hear what the governor says first before making a decision.
And let's check and see how traffic is moving along out there early on your Tuesday.
Here's Officer Don.
Look at Georgetown and Citation. We're okay there. There's a collision inbound Richmond at St. Anne. Right lane is impacted for the next few minutes. Now back to you.
Hey, Jim. You there with weather?
We'll start pressing into the area here. And we will likely run into some more rain that will be pressing into the Commonwealth. So that's what we have there, guys, as the day progresses around here.
All right. Nobody's more up to date than you to start your day. Thank you so much for being here with us on WKYT.
Have a great day, everybody.
Get the news you need with push alerts on the WKYT News app. WKYT stands for Kentucky on the WKYT News app.
For patients that have sensitivity, it's very common to have a gum health concern as well. You know, I talk to dentists every day, and they're able to recommend Sensodyne sensitivity in gum. It's really good dentistry to be able to recommend one product that can address two conditions.
Emergencies can happen anytime, and all of us here at Fayette Heating and Air want to reassure you we will remain open 24/7 and ready to help. Right now, we're offering 0% financing, 0 money down, and 0 payments for 6 months on any new HVAC system. We want to ensure your safety, so we're offering a free UV light that kills 99.9% of germs, bacteria, and viruses in the air. Call today or visit us online for guaranteed next-day installation. Fayette Heating and Air, turning your bad day into a good one.
Some things can't be put on pause. Your checkups, your consults with specialists, your life-changing procedures. That's why we're adapting quickly to make our hospitals and clinics even safer for you and to give you more convenient ways to connect with the care you need at Kentucky's #1 hospital. That's how we're meeting this moment for you and for the health of all Kentuckians. UK Healthcare, the power of advanced medicine.
Closed captioning on WKYT is sponsored by Cumberland Valley National Bank.
You never know, Harry was the fastest kid in 4th grade.
or Bob was a high school quarterback, or Jimmy was a pilot in the war, and Frank worked the farm from dawn to dusk. You'd also never know that they suffer from neglect at their nursing home. Looks can be deceiving. Know the warning signs. If you suspect your loved one is a victim of nursing home neglect or abuse, call the Becker Law Office. Just dial 3s.